Welcome, my beautiful friends, to my YouTube channel, to this week's energy forecast. I'm Sarah Louise, I'm an intuitive, and I'm here to share with you the vibrational tone of this week. So what this week feels like and how you can best navigate yourself through this week. What's happening in that current cosmic weather and how that could possibly affect us. So, my friends, we walk into December and there is most definitely a shift in energy. I feel like we're coming out of November, October, September, October, actually the whole freaking year that's been, shared, release, let go, push, retrogrades, frustration, breaking through, shedding. That Scorpio season was like transformation. And we're coming into December and the tone is definitely softer, but that doesn't mean it's less powerful. We are in times, and I say this all the time, we are living in times where the level of evolution is like magnified. So we're always going to be evolving, right? As a species, we're always going to be evolving. But this window between 25 and 27, it's like it's on steroids. It's like magnified hugely. So it's like this massive shedding and upgrading and up leveling and releasing and growing and self-awareness, and it's huge. We kind of we grow in one way and we shed, and when we find ourselves in a new space, and then it's time to go again with the next thing or the next layer. And we are like an onion, there's always going to be another layer. But I feel like before, in past times, it was like we could peel those layers a little bit slowly, whereas now it's like one layer's gone, like take a breath, let's go next one. And we need to trust that process, and we need to remember that when we get to that 2027 shifting kind of frequency and vibration, it's like we're going to be ready. And this month, December, it's definitely got a slightly softer, more kind of open-hearted, not so harsh tone to it, but it's still really powerful. Yeah, we've got a few, we've got that solstice coming in Capricorn on the 21st, 22nd, and that carries a lot of big energy of change and up-leveling. So, it's not like there's nothing happening, but as I say, the tone of it, the feel of the month feels softer and kind of kinder to us. Yeah, so let's kind of hold on to that. Yeah. And this week, what's the focus of this week? Well, my friends, this week we have a super moon in Gemini. It's the third super moon. It's the last super moon of the year. It's like a moon that's been telling a story, and this is the last chapter. So remember, when there's a full moon, there's big illuminations, culminations, endings. It's like wrapping up, yeah? And it's in Gemini. But I feel like it's not like, sometimes a full moon is like, oh my God, like ripping us open and we're really emotional. Yes, there's emotion around it. We can be sensitive, but I feel like it's quite calm, and it's kind of more of a, hey, step up, open up your hearts, be a little bit kinder to yourself and others. And so the energy this week feels very kind of open-hearted, softer. I feel like we're going to find relationships a little bit easier, maybe relationship to self, to others. I feel like we're going to kind of smile a little bit more and be more lighter, more joyful, because the energy's been heavy, and we've kind of had to like drudge through a little bit. Whereas like it feels a bit lighter and a bit like, where I am, it's like it's summer, it's bright, and that kind of is the energy. So even if you're, in deep in winter, the energy is still going to feel a bit lighter. So that's great. My little microphone. I'm trying a microphone this week because somebody asked me to. So focus of the week is definitely the full moon. What else do you need to know? I feel like there's some energy around forgiveness under this full moon, wrapping up and forgiveness, leaving things in the past, not carrying things into the future, which feels nourishing. So I want you to go gentle with yourself this week, because it is a full moon, so emotionally we are going to feel a little bit sensitive, hopefully not on the floor crying, but we can feel a little bit sensitive. We are in December, the tone is going to be different. We are at quite a busy time of year, where emotions can kind of be a little bit hectic anyway. So what can you do this week to, look after self? I'd say midweek, around the energy of this full moon, I would be kind of doing some journaling around, what do I leave behind in this year? I would start to be looking towards that new year with that beautiful solstice coming up on the 22nd. So, looking at the new year with fresh eyes, like, how do I want it to feel? What am I going to create? What's my kind of priority? Where do I want to go? Who am I going to be? And kind of start to look with those beautiful, like, eyes of, the Sagittarius season eyes of, like, optimism and joyful and lightness. Yeah. So definitely tuning into that. And treading gently through the week and allowing your heart to open up a little bit more. Because as I say, our hearts have been a little bit guarded and I'm not going to say shut down, but a little bit maybe. And so, allow the energy of December to come in and soften and kind of open us up a little bit. Like, let's start to trust life a little bit more. Let's kind of trust the time that we're living in. We're not going to take another side step. I feel like the waves are going to keep coming, those energetic waves, but we're really learning how to be incredible surfers. Yeah, and when we feel that energy coming in, we've got this incredible toolbox within ourselves that we can go, okay, well, I can feel that wave and I can feel a little bit of overwhelm in me. I'm going to do some belly breathing, or I'm going to go outside and, make sure I see the sunset and the sunrise for the next few days. Or I'm going to drink, some beautiful, blessed filtered water, and I'm going to, nurture myself, and I might, go and lay on the grass for a little bit, and I'm going to do some journaling, and maybe I'll play with my oracle cards, and maybe I'll tap in, maybe I'll dance and move and put some music on. So we're becoming aware of when that feeling comes up, to be aware of it within ourselves and to move through it in that way. Yeah, this whole journey most definitely has been kind of pushing us inwards. Yeah, what makes you happy? Who are you? What do you need to leave behind? What are your new boundaries? All of that has been definitely shifting through this year, and we've had to really kind of work in a way of now I'm gonna, show you what these are, and it's been quite serious. And this month, this week is relax a little, calm the farm. Yeah, smile, look up. Yeah. So that's the tone of this week, my beautiful friends. Enjoy. Keep the pace a little bit slow, slower than you'd like to. Yeah. If you're out walking, just be conscious and mindful to slow it down a little bit, and that will really serve you. Yeah. It's a new month. It's a new vibe. You're gonna have a new month. Yeah, we are. Yeah. Have a beautiful week, and I will check back in with you next week. Have a look at where that full moon in Gemini, super moon, where it falls for you, and around that day, around that time, get your journal out and put out there what you're leaving behind, where you're going, what you're doing, and just maybe do some free writing. Have an amazing week.